the voice you hear is Scotty Colson, and we are with Rebecca Hernandez. And this is an interview that we will be posting on YouTube. And is that okay with you?
It is.
And we'll be bringing it down as soon as they make a decision in Hitachi. Tell us something about yourself that's not in the application resume.
Well, in the resume, I stated that I was graduating this semester. So as of Saturday, I am officially graduated from UAB with a master's in history. So I got that out of the way, and it feels really good. Yeah.
What about your experience with kids? What have you done with kids over the years?
I've worked a lot with kids. I've worked at a child development center, which is a sort of a preschool, and right now I'm babysitting. I also worked as a substitute teacher for a year back home in Texas, and so that gave me the opportunity to work with kids from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. So I got the whole range of, learning their ABCs to just ready for school to be over with. So I have that, and then I'm certified actually to teach in Texas. I have an 8 through 12 history teaching certificate. So.
What got you interested in Japan?
Well, initially I transferred to UT Austin, intending to be a classical archaeology major, and I got to the school and they didn't have the program anymore. So I spent that first year really trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I'm from a small town in Texas, and you don't see a lot of diversity, and UT was just this huge campus with all these different cultures and ethnicities, and I decided to take Japanese sort of on a whim, and mostly because I was failing Latin. But as soon as I took that first semester, I kind of figured out that this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to study the culture, I wanted to study the history and the people, and I ended up doing history and Asian studies, and most of the classes that I took focused on Japan. So after that, I was really, I guess, kind of hooked.
What do you know about Hitachi?
I don't know a lot about Hitachi. I've been talking to Cheyenne some, and she has nothing but really awesome things to say about it. I know that it's kind of on the coast, like on the East Coast, and Dr. Van Zant has already told me that the Fukushima plant, not to worry about that, so I'm not really worried about it. I think Cheyenne told me that it's like an industrial type city, sort of like Birmingham, and I like Birmingham, so I think that I won't have a problem fitting into Hitachi.
And just kind of fleshing out some of the questions.
Mm-hmm.
What brought you to UAB?
What brought me to UAB? I knew that I wanted to get a master's degree. I took that year off and worked on my teaching certificate, but I knew that I wanted to eventually go back to school, and I loved UT. It was just so big, and after that I wanted to do my master's work in a smaller setting, more personalized, where I got to know all the professors and all the other history graduate students, and UAB offered that, and I'm so glad because you meet all these different people with different interests, and you kind of bounce ideas off of each other, and I think it's been a really good opportunity for me. My aunt lives here, so I have family here. I feel like I have some connection to Birmingham.
And where in Texas are you from?
I am from Odessa, Texas, West Texas.
Friday Night Lights?
Yes, Friday Night Lights. Everybody says that. I went to the other high school because Friday Night Lights is about Permian, and I went to OHS. So, of course, there was sort of that, why can't we have our movie? But, yeah, Friday Night Lights.
Just what briefly explain so they'll understand what Friday Night Lights was about.
Friday Night Lights is based on a book about Permian High School and their football team and kind of how they had like this awesome season and made it to like the state championships. I haven't read it because it kind of goes against my school, but if I remember correctly, I think they might have won that year. My aunt actually went to Permian during that season, so she can tell you all about it. She's a big Permian fan.
It's a football thing.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
The what's your favorite book?
My favorite book is probably The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. It's fantastic. I have it on my bookshelf, and I take it with me everywhere that I go. Like if I move, I had it with me in Odessa, and I took it with me to Austin, and I brought it over here because it's one of those books where you can just read it and fall in love with the characters all over again and kind of immerse yourself in her world, which is so different from, I guess, ours. And it's kind of a dystopian novel, and I kind of have a thing for those kind of books, but it's really
Decent movie too.
What? There's a movie?
Yes.
Really? I haven't seen the movie.
You got to get the movie.
Is it an older movie?
It's about 15 years old.
Oh.
Has the Liam Neeson's ex-wife as the star. When I say ex-wife, the one who died.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
Well, that gets us to the summing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to take about a minute to explain why you should be hired.
I should be hired because I believe in this idea of reciprocal learning where you learn from the people around you. And I think that as an ALT, you get that opportunity because right now we're living in an increasingly globalized world where everybody has connections. And I think that if I was hired, I would offer the students like a walking like resource, I guess, of not only of the English language but of the American culture. And I have the I guess well I also bring another part which is like my Hispanic culture. So I'm not just a walking American culture, but I can also bring some of my experiences as a Hispanic, as a minority living in America, to that. I think that everything that I've done up to this point has enabled me to be a good ALT. I've had experience working with young kids. I've had experiences working with middle school kids and high school kids. I know, or I've seen some teachers and how students don't interact well or don't engage well in some forms of learning and other forms of learning they do. So I think that I bring to the position that knowledge that it's not going to be the same learning experience for every kid. And as a teacher, you have to acknowledge that and kind of work towards, I guess, engaging each student as best as possible. So I just got my master's degree. I have that education, and I think that I am at the point in my life where I'm mature enough. I understand kind of the direction that I want to go in, and this is the direction that I see myself going in. It's something that I've always wanted to do. It's one of my goals, and I really want to accomplish it. So
you're ready for a 2-year commitment?
yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes.